Congratulations, it's a girl. Arnold, I can do it. No, don't stress the baby. I got it. Hello? Hello, is this Laura Simmons? Yes. Who is this? This is from SA Law Firm. Laura, who is it? Laura, what happened? Why are you crying? Mom, she's no more. It was a time of joy and happiness for Laura and Arnold when they found out her mother passed away. Laura's father passed away a few years prior, and her mother was the only other family Laura had, besides Arnold. She was deeply grieved. She was very close to her parents. Laura grew up in Tennessee, in a beautiful ranch tucked away in the woods. It was only after she got married she moved into a small apartment in the city with Arnold. But now, the ranch lay empty, with no one to go back home to. Wilma Simmons, your mother has left the family house as inheritance to you. The following day, her mother's lawyer came over with some property papers, handing over the old family ranch to Laura. Laura was so heartbroken. She spent hours looking through old pictures of herself and her family. She had such a beautiful childhood there. Deep down inside, Laura wanted to raise her child with the same love and compassion she got from her parents. Arnold, I was wondering, why not take a break from the city and move to Tennessee, to the ranch? To the ranch? And what about everything here? Work? It's only an hour's drive, and just think about it. Our child will grow up in the open, the nature, the fresh air. After a lot of persuasion, Laura got Arnold to agree. The couple started preparing for the big shift. And by the time they settled in the family ranch, Laura was 7 months pregnant. Since the moment Laura stepped back into her childhood home, she began organizing and decorating the house. Her mother left all the furniture and belongings just the way they were before. As Laura went through all the rooms, she looked through old pictures and familiar toys. She wanted everything to be ready for the baby. The houses in the area were quite isolated. The nearest neighbors were about 20 minutes away. And shopping meant you had to take out the car. Laura and Arnold went on a big shopping haul once every month. Arnold would leave for work early every morning and wouldn't be back until 8 or 9. It was a tight schedule for him. And with the baby coming soon, Arnold requested his boss for a paternity leave and managed 2 weeks off. But he was saving the leave for the last 2 weeks of Laura's 3rd trimester. But for Laura, the The new change was bliss. She enjoyed the lovely environment. Early in the mornings, Laura would walk the trail through the woods that bordered her backyard. She remembered her parents would take her down this trail to the creek. Her father would show her how to skip rocks on the water, and sometimes the two would even try to catch small fish. Things were going well. But as Laura came closer to her due date, Arnold became all the more nervous. Listen, Laura, if you feel the slightest pain, call me immediately. I'll be here as soon as I can. Don't worry, Arnold, everything's gonna be fine. No, Laura, don't try to wait it out for me to come back. If you sense something, we'll go to the hospital immediately. All right. There's still another whole month to go. Take it easy. Laura waved at Arnold drive out of the garage. She got busy around the house as usual. Until sometime late in the afternoon, she decided to take a walk. The skies were cloudy today, and there was a soothing cool breeze. It was the perfect weather to take a stroll down the trail. Laura began walking, listening to the crunch of the branches and twigs beneath her sandals. It was a long trail, but the walks every day made her stronger. She hadn't ever felt this healthy. Laura was halfway down the trail, in the middle of the woods. When suddenly, she felt a piercing pain in her stomach. She stood still for a moment and stretched out before she continued to walk. But the further she went, she began to feel that constant cramp to the side of her stomach. She was confused. Was this what false labor pain felt like? Laura searched around. She spotted a dry log and decided to take a break before continuing. The last rays of the sun were seeping through the leaves of the tall trees. The forest ground was speckled with spots of sunlight. Laura could hear the water running across the creek in the background. She was almost there. As she was about to sit down, her sandal caught onto something and she stumbled back. She let out a small cry and lifted her feet. She had stepped on a sharp piece of splintered wood. Laura held her feet as she watched blood drip onto the forest ground. She searched her pockets when she realized she left her phone at home. At least she had a tissue in her pocket. She wrapped it around her feet. After about 10 minutes, she got up again. Laura took in the fresh air, but when she walked a few more steps, she was overcome with intense pain. She had no choice but to sit down. She was unable to walk. She barely managed to lean against a tree and took shelter under its shade. As the skies got dark, Laura began to drop pearls of sweat. Her back felt like it would snap into two. The cramps started to happen more frequently. Laura became anxious when she came to the realization that this wasn't a false alarm. She tried to get up and get back home to call Arnold, but she couldn't move. The pain was so intense. Tears began to drop from her eyes. She closed her eyes and started to take deep breaths, trying to assess her situation. If she would take a break every 5 minutes she walked, she would be back home in half an hour. Laura pulled through the pain and started to walk back to the house. But it wasn't before long that Laura started to black out. She felt dizzy and nauseated. Stumbling to the ground, Laura lay there in agonizing pain. She looked up at everything darkening around her, wishing that someone could hear her cry. But she was too exhausted to speak a sound out of her lips. Laura heard a murmur in the distance. Were there some people nearby? She had to call for help. She opened her eyes, shocked to see she wasn't in the woods anymore. She was in the hospital. She jumped up and looked around. How did I get here? Who called the ambulance? Arnold was sitting beside her. Laura, you're awake. How are you feeling? Arnold walked to the hospital crib and cradled his child in his arms. She's beautiful, just like you. When did this? How did I don't remember anything. How did you find me? Everyone's saying it's a miracle. The neighbors called the police when they heard a baby cry out in the woods. The police found you unconscious on the ground, and the child was laying next to you wrapped in a white cloth. They immediately called for an ambulance and brought you here. When I heard the news, I was devastated. I thought you were hurt. I thought our child was hurt. I couldn't believe how strong you were. The doctor said things could have gone wrong for both of you and the child since it was a premature birth. They couldn't stop praising you for how well you handled it. How did you do it? Arnold, I don't know how it all happened. I don't remember giving birth. It really was a miracle. The pain was intolerable. I thought I was stuck there in the middle of the woods. I couldn't move. Everything started to get hazy. Everything was going dark. But then I started to see a bright, white figure standing in front of me before I fainted. There was someone. No, it couldn't be. It couldn't have been a person. It was something beyond this world. It was unreal. Something saved me. It saved our child. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family.